Hi friends, so it's been a while since I made the last video. I know I promised to put up a few more videos on several things that we can get rid of to improve the air we breathe, but I haven't had the time. I've just relocated to a new apartment here in Kalyan, and it's taken me quite a lot of time to sort of get things done and settled. Actually, this place is a lot more sorted than the prior place, so there was a lot less setting up to do. But still, at the end of the day, moving is what it is, moving. So I just didn't have the time to kind of, to do a video. And so this is a little bit of an update. I shifted all my plants myself, so that's something you must know about me. I'm really crazy about plants, so I do all the shifting myself. I don't like trusting anybody else to do the plant shifting for me. I don't mind them shifting everything else, my furniture, my electronics, and everything. But my plants, I would like to shift them myself if it is possible. So I shifted them from the prior apartment to this apartment, and this place has a much bigger balcony. And the great thing is, it has a lot of sunlight. So I'm going to take you and show you my balcony. As I said, you can see this is a very large balcony. So this is where I sort of step out, and it's huge. It's so much more space than all the three tiny little balconies I had. I've put in my ugly garden shells. I'm going to sort of transform them. I'm going to paint them a nice green at some point and make it look a little nicer. They're not looking very nice right now. I have a clothes dryer on top so that I can take full advantage of the ground space for growing my plants. So all of this space, all of this is, these shelves are going to be used for greens and stuff. There's more empty space here. There's going to be more stuff here, of course, but right now this is how it looks, a little messy. But my own tiny balcony space, and this space sort of extends from the living room to the bedroom. So I'm really lucky to have this much space, and I'm hoping I can grow a lot both on these shelves and on the ground here. So now I'm going to take you to look a little closer at my plants. So look at the pak choi. The pak choi was actually a surprise. I just popped a bunch of seeds in these pots, and I had just a couple of pots, and they are doing pretty good even in this weather, in the warm Mumbai weather. But of course during December and January now it's gotten a lot more cooler. I also planted cabbage seeds, so you can take a look at this. They are still very small saplings. This was all in such a hurry because I was trying to move the house. So this year it's been a little bit haphazard. I've tried to do my best, but let's see. The reason I've grown the cabbage is not to have cabbage, because I don't think the cabbage will will have the time to make those little balls and come out in the form of a cabbage. But instead I'm hoping that at least the leaves become big and I can start using the leaves in stir fries and dishes like that. Of course the basil is really honestly the winner. Take a look at this basil. I mean, it's really done very well. Some of the tomato plants have produced quite well, this one, but strangely you can see the leaves are sort of drying up. So I think this plant has some sort of fungal disease, but there's a bunch of tomatoes, so I'm just waiting for the produce. I just harvested one tomato. I'm waiting for the other ones to ripen, and I think I'll use them in salads. But this is really honestly my first tomato harvest on my balcony. I'm quite surprised. I didn't expect to have this. And take a look at these plants. I mean, they're so leggy and long. And the reason why they're so long is because the earlier balcony I was living in, It had very little sunlight. In fact, most of these tomatoes formed as soon as I came here, and they've started growing bigger and nicer here because there's a lot more light in this balcony. There's another one, small one here. And these are from seeds from something called Organic Bazaar. Honestly, I must say I'm really disappointed with the seeds. Most of the seeds did not take off, and of the few seeds that have taken off, it looks like the plants are not very healthy, not very good. I have had better, these are the regular big basket tomato seeds, so I think I've had better luck just taking out seeds from tomatoes purchased from big basket organic tomatoes and planting them. They're much nicer. You can see there's a lot more flowering here. So I will just shake these flowers so they sort of pollinate, and they have their, I have bunches of tomatoes probably later on. This here again is this is cauliflower. This is not cabbage, but this is cauliflower again. Again, I've grown for the leaves because cauliflower leaves taste just like cabbage leaves. Actually, it tastes really good, and they can be used instead of cabbage in stir fries. Again, other pots of just tomato and basil. So there's still a lot of work to be done in this garden. What I'm trying, I want to show you. I just popped in these beans plants from the local nursery. For the first time, I've had some sort of success with beans. I've been trying to grow beans for a long time. Never been successful, but the local nursery here had some seeds. I was tempted, so I purchased, and it looks like this is working. The same fully plant which I showed you in my earlier video is also doing really well. It's going crazy. You can see more buds form. I think we'll have more Samefully very soon. This is actually the weather for Samefully, so cooler temperature. I think there's a lot more that will come from this plant. What I want to show you is these boxes. These are Amazon boxes. So I'm trying something very, very different. I'm trying to grow something in Amazon boxes, and because it's not easy to lift and push these boxes with mud in them, I have put in a soilless mixture. So this is, just coco peat, vermicompost, and perlite. And the idea is that plants like, for instance, zucchini, pumpkin, the summer plants which need a lot more place for their roots, I thought these boxes would be nicer for them to grow. So I purchased some of these cheap gunny bags, put them inside, and I've set up another box, another taller box over here. I'm waiting to get more soil medium for that. And once it is set up, I'm going to start getting my saplings ready. So these are the curry leaves and the turmeric plant. Take a look at the curry leaf plant. It's doing pretty well. There are 2 or 3 saplings over here, and all of them are doing pretty well. And the arugula, this time I put the arugula in the sun, hoping to see what happens, but I don't know. It looks like it's growing. It's okay, but it's not as productive as my arugula. Probably also because growing in the pots, they probably don't grow as well as they grow in the ground. These are okay. They're ready to harvest, so I'm going to start using them for my salads. I'm hoping to get some seeds as well from them. See if I can weather them, meaning sometimes cold weather plants or warm weather plants can be sort of localized. You can grow them for long periods of time and get them adapted slightly to other temperatures, and I'm hoping to do that with the arugula because the winter here is still very cool. It's not hot, so I'm hoping it can still adapt a little bit to this temperature. These are the red chili plants. So they become really big and they're flowering now. So you can see one flower here. I'm going to shake it so it becomes a chili. Another one over here which is drying up. There. So there are 4 chili plants in this tiny pot. I need to repot it into a bigger, probably into one of these kind of boxes, which I will do soon. These guys here, there's something wrong. I don't know exactly what, but the leaves seem to be sort of falling. I've been pruning it a little bit to see what's happened, but produce a lot, to be honest. I've had a lot of chilies even since we came to this house now. I've been getting at least 2 or 3 chilies every couple of days. So these are doing well, the one in this pot, but the one in this pot, there seems to be some sort of a problem. Maybe it needs a spray or something, maybe a neem spray. I think I will spray and see what happens. But tell me if you know what's happening to this chili plant. Here I picked up some tulsi plants locally and I planted them. A lot of these plants which I picked up, honestly, they all died. And you can see even this one is drooping suddenly and I can't understand why. So I'm just going to pick off the leaves and put them in my tea. But hopefully these guys survive. Let's see. I picked up one of the arugula saplings and repotted it into another pot. Here this one is growing pretty well. More basil, and this here of course is palak. Palak, first few days I don't know what happened when I came to this balcony. There must have been a rat which was coming and constantly eating the leaves. Now I think the rat is beginning to leave the palak alone. So let's see. It's beginning to grow well once again. On this shelf I have coriander. I've just given it a chopping so it will come back. But I had it in a sunnier spot, so I moved it to a shadier spot because it was drying up a little bit. Another one pot over here. And of course beetroot saplings. Beetroot, again, I'm not growing for the beetroot. I'm growing it for the leaves because the leaves are so good. In fact, I feel sometimes the leaves are tastier than the beetroot itself. In Sonipat I used to get the beetroot harvest, but here I will definitely probably not get beetroot, and so late that too in the season, probably definitely not. So I'm happy with the leaves for sambar. The idea is to kind of fill up these shelves with leafy greens and all the green stuff, herbs and leafy stuff. So then I can make place over here on the ground for tomatoes, pumpkins, sponge gourd, also probably zucchini. I'd like to try and grow some zucchini this time. I've planted a few, the round zucchini. In these empty pots I've just put in some seeds. Let's see what happens. I've also planted pumpkins of a local variety, the smaller variety of pumpkin, hoping they will do better in pots. These are some of the chili plants which are still growing over here. The red chili plants, I could not find any other pots for them. It's just red chilies and arugula in this pot. So I think, yeah, it's time for me to harvest the arugula. They're looking really nice. So that's all for today.